Hafaday Tir Wami and good evening Commonwealth. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2015. So many survival stories around Saipan as pseudolore ravaged the Commonwealth. Today we look at one. Handy Johnny is fighting to survive the post-pseudolore recovery as his home was reduced to rubble from the devastating winds. We talk with him at his Chinatown property. 67-year-old Handy Johnny was in his home during most of the storm. But he tells us when it started to get bad, he headed to a neighbor's house nearby. His house had wood walls with a tin roof.
Before, that's 3-bedroom all this.
The foundation is still visible amidst a pile of debris.
Yes, everybody's scared. When the time is coming worse, when I see my house is start to fly and I run there, I'm scared. But I don't know what I'm going to do.
He tells us he's been calling Red Cross many times. When we visited with Johnny Thursday morning, he says they told him they are coming, so he just keeps waiting.
But I start to just clean up and put together until they... I really need help because you know why? I don't know. I don't have any place to sleep. I sleep in the... And my daughter and they took the one kid sleep with the neighbor.
Where do you sleep?
I sleep inside there.
Johnny took us to the damaged shack he is calling home in the post-typhoon world. Thin material on a table acts as the sheet on his bed. He says the shack is still prone to heavy rain inside.
But it's hard to me. I don't have any car to go.
And he says his daughter is 8 months pregnant, too. He worries about her. He says she's with neighbors, and everyone is helping each other out with food. Here's the simulated situation. 2 MV-22B Ospreys land and drop off Marines. The Ospreys take off. The Marines begin their mission into the thick jungle to do reconnaissance. KSPN embeds with the Guam Army National Guard, the bad guys in this scenario. They are holed up in the former World War II Japanese administration building, awaiting the advance of the Marines. No word yet on the Marines, but the guardsmen get in place.
Hey, you two, come over here.
Then firing in the distance.
Go. Hey, you got 17! 5 o'clock! 5 o'clock!
The process right now is we as the Guam National Guard, we're playing the opposing forces. We're currently occupying this objective, and the Marines Infantry Division is coming in to attack this position and to seize it.
Watch, you got behind me, round them up!
Just as the guardsmen are defending the administration building for a possible 360-degree attack.
Let's go!
The Marines descend on the objective from all directions. One National Guardsman takes a moment to reload. The Marines infiltrate the objective. After a few moments on the first floor, they take the stairs, guns drawn. Guam National Guardsmen had blanks in their guns, but the Marines were not allowed to carry ammunition, so they were screaming bang bang during the mission. Marine Captain Philip Rigaud.
We weren't allowed to carry ammo, so we didn't have any feedback mechanism on whether they got killed.
Marine Lance Corporal Jonathan Lozano says the mission was actually harder than he expected. He didn't expect to reach the objective as fast.
Probably weren't reading the map right. Why we did because we honestly thought it was a lot farther.
So right now I'm measuring the length of his wing, what's called wing chord.
Field biologist Jake Shorty is partnering with the California-based Institute for Bird Populations. He is on contract with the local Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Traditionally, the Institute for Bird Populations has been coming out here and doing that mostly in the dry season, basically from November into July-ish.
They have set locations for nets like these.
Once the net catches them, they kind of tumble down into this little pocket here.
It's a safe method of catching the birds, according to Jake. Once they catch them, then they band them to keep track of the birds. This is a golden white-eye.
There are strict rules with banding birds that the band has to weigh only a certain percent of the bird's body weight so it doesn't impede its ability to fly.
Yep, just clamp it shut. The pliers are shaped so that you can't over clamp it.
And will be easy for future biologists to recognize, according to Jake.
So this is how we identify a bird once we've caught it for the first time. It has its own individual little serial number there. And basically anytime we're recording information about it, we put this down.
Once a bird is banded, the measurements begin.
Did you start a new recap sheet or should I?
We're gonna need to start a new recap sheet.
The biologists measure the wings, bills, and even fat stores.
It's not like bulging or anything like that, but you can definitely see some of the fat. It's sort of, I'll try to show you, it's a little bit pinker than the muscle around it. Up in there. Down there as well.
They also check out the bird's head with an interesting method.
And what I'm seeing, which it'd be impossible to show on the camera, is that top layer is all ossified, it's all formed up.
Jake and Trisha also weigh the birds. For large ones like the collared kingfisher, they use an instrument similar to a small luggage scale.
She weighs 50, 60, 70, 80, 84 grams.
Now the time comes to release the birds back. I got a chance to hold a golden white-eye before I let her fly off. Trisha released the colored kingfisher.
Yes.
Yes? All right, here she goes.
Working in the rain has its challenges, according to Jake. It started pouring during our visit, and he had to go close nets. Jake and Trisha caught about 15 to 20 birds a day in the Asmatweets location we visited. The basic essentials continue to be in high demand here on Saipan. We're on Middle Road straddling two separate Shell stations. If you look behind me, you'll notice a line of cars that stretches about a mile. Follow me a couple blocks further and you'll see a more organized Shell station than Tuesday. But there is still another line of cars stretching for about a mile. You'll also notice residents waiting online with empty gas cans, with their umbrellas, waiting to fill up. I'm standing right here on the area of concern here at the Cagman facility. This area has been filled with 40 cubic yards. That's 40 cubic yards of coral that I am standing on top of. And even now, if you look right behind me, it's starting to sink again. So we've got this F-16 behind us. If you look to my right, our firefighters are learning the procedures on how to operate this F-16 in the event of an emergency landing. It's Saturday afternoon and the ship is in place behind us. There's a series of buoys stretching from the ship to the shore where crews are now working on the cable. The sound you're hearing right now is the water flowing into the 1 million gallon Puerto Rico tank. This is called a gate valve. The new facility for airport firefighting training is going to be state-of-the-art, according to the Commonwealth Ports Authority Director. Phase 2 of the construction project got approved last week. We got a chance to walk and climb the whole construction site. The spire that I'm pointing to now makes this Freedom Tower 1,776 feet tall. The cross has made it to the top of Mount Tapachao, but now the challenge begins. It's an historic first for the CNMI. After 12 years of waiting, the cattle will now be exported to Guam. This ship ran aground around 7 o'clock this morning. Here's what we know. It's about 500 feet, 16,000 tons. This police boat that you see behind me is coming in from visiting the boat. Governor Enos' aides tell us he is in control of the government, working and having meetings with staff.